Shalom, shalom. We give praises and honor unto Elohim for who he is. We are grateful for the life that Elohim has given unto us. We went to bed not expecting to be alive today, but by the mercies of Yah, we are able to see things around us. We are able to hear things around us. We are able to feel our bodies and see the works of Elohim. So we are very grateful today. Yesterday, as maybe if you follow the news, according to them, there was what they declare as a terrorist attack in Moscow. People died. People also died in car accidents. Some people died in a shooting in the ghettos, a drive-by. Some people are being bombed. Some are being kidnapped and then being killed. So things are happening and it will continue to happen, but we bless Elohim for the life and the protection that he has given unto us so far. We are grateful for all the happenings, the good, the bad, and the ugly, the things around us, the mountains, the valleys, the oceans, the rivers, the hills, and whatnot, the trees, the streams, the springs, the deserts, the Sahara, the wilderness. These are all the beauty of creation. And we are very grateful that Elohim placed men on this part of the planet. When they show you some of the planets like Mars, Jupiter, Venus, and whatnot, some are planets that you can only feel heat and fire. Some, like Mars, is like a desert. There's no river. There's nothing there. So we bless Elohim for that wonderful work that he did. And we can only do the will of him that has called us. So we bear witness that there is but one Most High. He is the beginning. He is the end. He is the one who was and is about to come. We bless him for all of the prophets from the book of Genesis even to the last book, and all of the apostles, the sent ones, the disciples in the renewed covenant, or what you refer to as the New Testament. And we can never thank him enough for the Messiah, the one who was hidden in the seventh heaven, the one who shall be seen in the clouds, being followed by the host of heaven, the one who shall render rulership upon the heathens, and he will rule over his people. We are grateful for the Malachims, the holy angels who minister unto us in the flesh spiritually. We can only but thank Elohim for all the things. So, people, we greet you once again. Today is, I think, the 23rd of March, if I'm not mistaken, 2024. Soon and very soon, I think by next week should be what they call Easter or whatever, or maybe 2 weeks, I don't know. We bless Elohim. Today, I guess many of you were not expecting me, but here I am. Things happen in this life, so I'm the replacer. So just think about your life. Make sure that your ears are tuned in. Make sure that your heart is fertile. Make sure that you connect spiritually to the things that we show you, for these are things that will happen. There are so many things that are happening around us. Unfortunately, we do not see them as a danger. And is something scary, especially when I sometimes look at this generation, especially the ones in the Western world. Unfortunately, they've forgotten about the Second World War and the First World War that happened in the Western world, and they've taken for granted the kind of peace they've enjoyed. Whilst they enjoyed peace, they went into the nations and enslaved them and destroyed them, manipulated political leaders and the military against their leaders, overthrew governments that were for the people and replaced them with beasts of nations. So nowadays, when danger is staring them at their face, they don't see it, they boast, they say all manner of things. They talk about other nations as if other nations are nothing, and they are the ones, when you militarily speaking, it is always the F-35s, the F-22s. They have the stealth bombers. They have the best defense weapons. They have the best offensive weapons. And all other weapons, whether it's from China, Russia, Iran, that is secondhand, that is nothing. And they've managed to then manipulate all of us into thinking that, they are so strong. But whether you live, especially in Europe, in this country, if even 10 missiles are coming towards Holland, they don't even have a defense shield. But they don't tell you these things. You think they are so strong, they are protected. Many of these European nations don't even have defense shield, defensive measures to defend themselves, because they've always been on the offensive. They've never thought about other countries bombing them. And because of that, we are doomed. We who find ourselves in the Western world. And as for Africa, you don't want to talk about them. If the ones who are with the weapons are doomed, then what will befall the ones who dwell without walls? Unwalled villages. If the ones that are walled, like Israel, are running away from Hamas, then what will Kinshasa do? There's no protection in Kinshasa or Ghana. Whenever you are there, you sometimes I stand at the roadside, and whenever I'm in Africa, I'm like, oh my goodness. It's like there's no sense of like people paying attention to danger. It's like everything is normal. We just have to struggle and get some money. And even when a car is coming, they don't even realize it's about to hit them, let alone when a bomb is flying towards them. So we bless Elohim for how far he has brought us, and we pray that he will continue to give us the understanding. In our generation, you don't need these prophets, the so-called prophets or spiritual leaders or so-called seers will come into your midst instead of them to tell you geopolitics, prophetic things that are found within the scriptures. You prefer that they tell you fantasies. They give you prophecies about marriage. Even the ones who are in marriage want to jump. But they give you prophecies as if like marriage is something extraordinary. Marriage, or if you're in Africa, they tell you about you'll be a rich man. If you were to replace these people, the listeners, with, let's say, white folks from the West, the question you have to ask yourself is, what would be the message of this prophet? Because you cannot prophesy to a white boy and tell him the mother flies in the night and eat flesh. And that white boy will understand that the mother is a witch and kills people spiritually and eat them. And that the guy, his drug addiction is not his own doings, it's someone else. You see?
It's a black prophecy.
You see, so sometimes you just have to reflect. Once you replace these listeners with people with a little bit of reasoning, you will see that their message ends that day. They will have no message to tell you. Look at us, for example. We are not the only, you have many of them hidden. Some are on social media. We come in the volume of the book, week in, week out, messages upon messages, whether it is slavery, the title might be different, the message, we still have verses, new information to add, because he has instructed us to teach you knowledge. He has not instructed us to come and dance and tell you about a boy you will marry and a girl you will marry, and that you will be rich. Man, if you work and all things being equal, you will be rich. Do you need a prophecy for that? Huh? If you are in Africa, they will then prophesy to you. If you are in Congo, that, I see in the spiritual realm that one day you will travel to Europe. How come we who are here, when they come, they don't prophesy to us that they see in the spiritual realm that we will travel back to Ghana or Congo? It's all fantasy. Yeah? So please calm down, be wise, do your research, read your scriptures, but follow the headlines as well. Read about the geopolitics, the things that are happening. I know many of you have not done it in the past, so it might be a little bit confusing. But if you don't start doing that and get yourself involved in the politicking of this earth, it is as important as the scriptures you read. Because when the dangers are coming, you will not see them coming, because you live in a fantasy world. So please read your scriptures, but also follow the world politics, the happenings around the world militarily. Because when the missiles are coming, no angel will rapture you. It will hit you. So please be wise and do whatever you must do to survive this. So may Yah add his blessings to the things we are about to hear and see. And then if you have any questions, of course, feel free to drop them, and then we will do our best to have a look. Last week, if you remember, we started with a new theme called the wilderness. And I think the focus last week was on the Old Testament. I did that teaching. This week or today, we are still continuing in the same theme, but the focus is on the New Testament. What will happen in our time? What will happen in our era? That is what we are about to dive in. So I hope you learned something last week, and I hope this will also help you to be prepared, because last week we gave you examples of the happenings that prevented many of the people making it. And this week the focus is on what will happen before the Messiah does his final touchdown. The wilderness of the people is what we are about to touch. If you look at the picture carefully, you have two pictures. The one to your left, you see some people with their bags packed, and it seems they are walking out of Babylon. It seems they are getting out of the city because of some happenings. Then on your right-hand side, you have some people who seem to be wearing some Hebrew garments. And then, but their face is towards what is known as UFOs, or let's call it spaceships, or what spaceships they call them. And they are heading towards them. And sometimes when you watch YouTube and our brothers and sisters in the States that the angels will come in UFOs, spaceships, and come and rapture them. Do you listen to yourself? Do you know the task that you are calling for? Because let's say you have, let's say 5 million people who are righteous. All of these people, they are not at one place. They are scattered across, let's say, Northern America. So one might be maybe here on this address, the other one might be maybe 100 meters squared. So where do you place all of these UFOs? That you can go and climb the ladder. And while you are climbing, Edom is just going to allow you climb the ladder. And he will not climb it as well. Just use your logic sometimes when you make statements. Yeah, that we all see, because this is not spiritually done, it's physical. The photos you show us that UFOs, when UFOs come, it means all of us will see it. It's a physical thing. As long as I can see it, it means I can touch it. So whilst you are climbing, if I have a gun, will I not gun you down?
A redneck.
A redneck. These specklewoods with AR-15, they will gun you down and take over the UFO. So it is something that even though they don't believe in rapture, they've brought it in. And many people, many of the Hebrew Israelites who are supposed to be enlightened, unfortunately, because of that now, they also get relaxed because they think, oh, you don't have to prepare for anything. He will send the UFOs and they will come and pick us up. Pick you up and take you where? So that's what we will find out today, the happenings, whether Elohim has promised anyone some UFOs, and how we should prepare ourselves. It's not to cause fear and panic. Prepare your mind that when the time comes, if you have to flee, you flee. It's not man. The Elohim doesn't force you to flee. It's an option. He did not force the Israelites in Egypt to leave Egypt. It was an option. And I can guarantee you there were some Hebrews who never left Egypt, who thought that Moses is a madman. And they remained there. So I hope you will learn something from this. So let's get going. Introduction lesson.
We started a new theme last week titled The Wilderness.
Listen.
And started by looking at the reason why Yah took the children of Israel through the wilderness for over 40 years before allowing their kids to enter into the promised land.
So I showed you the part between, and I told you, you can even place the promised land in the Middle East as they claim. Wherever you place it, it was within the proximity of the people. It was within a walking distance. Because I showed you, I gave you an example of Abraham moving to Egypt. I gave you an example of Joseph and Maria and the Messiah moving into Egypt. Jacob and them guys, all of them moved to Egypt, back, forth. And it did not take them weeks. It was just maybe a matter of maybe 2 days they were there. So how come for 40 years they couldn't make it? We showed you the reasons. Listen.
We were able to identify certain behaviors that caused Yah to reject most of the people that came out of Egypt. The people were considered as idol worshippers.
So these were the things that prevented them last week, as we touched on the topic, from getting into the promised land. The first one was they were considered as idol worshippers there, because there were so many idols in Egypt. And if you have been born in a region, for example, if you are now born in what is it, Kuli land, India, and all your generation, you've lived there for over 400 years, the chances of you becoming a Hindu a guru is 95%. Just use your sense when you read. It's not like the people were they were not spiritual people. They were even worse than the Egyptians. Yeah, because when you are a slave, you can't think. You are a madman. You are a madman. You are angry. You can't be spiritual. So, because of the many idols there, they ended up always loving to have something. They wanted to have something they can place their hands on and call it God. And that is what affected them in the wilderness. Listen.
So the people were considered as idol worshippers, as murmurers, as stiff-necked, as tempters, as rebels, and whoremongers.
So they were all of these. Listen.
In this session, we will conclude on this theme by focusing on the prophecies reserved for our time.
So we are now going to concentrate on our time. What happened last week was examples which is still applicable because we are still whoremongers. Many of us still idolize these crazy images. We still murmur against Elohim. Many of us are stiff-necked people. We still tempt Elohim, and people will rebel against the spirit as well. But this week, our focus is more on the preparation towards the coming of the Messiah. Listen.
We will conclude on this theme by focusing on the prophecies reserved for our time and the generation that will see the coming of Yah.
Listen.
Our focus will be on the wilderness of the people as depicted in the scriptures.
Proverbs 2 verse 3, listen.
A prudent man foresees the evil.
So he said, a wise man, he sees the wars and the rumors of wars happening. He monitors geopolitics, the military, the movements. Listen.
And hides himself.
And once he sees those things, he clears all his money at the bank and runs away to a safe area because he observed. Listen.
But the simple pass on.
But the Christian, the religious person, the guy who has been manipulated by emotions, says that, well, these things are happening, the bombs are coming closer and closer, the war is coming closer and closer, but UFOs will come and get us. Listen.
And are punished.
He said that no UFOs. He said that they see danger coming, they don't prepare themselves, and then they get punished in it. Listen.
Daniel 12 verse 3. And they that be wise.
So now Daniel is now telling you. He didn't tell you, and those that are prophets. He said, those that are wise shall shine as the brightness of
the firmament,
and they that turn many
to righteousness as the stars forever
but
and ever.
Thou, O Daniel,
shut up the words
and seal
the book,
even
to the time of the end.
Many shall run
to and fro,
and
knowledge shall be
so
increased.
You see, there's movement. People travel with trains, with airplanes, ships. You even have submarines, aircraft. You even have spacecraft now. People are moving to and fro. And the level of knowledge available in our time is something which one cannot comprehend. It's above the human imagination, the kind of knowledge that is available in our era. Nowadays, a small boy, the kind of tech things in his head, if you play, he will kill you. Small boys are the ones who are, you go to China, the phones we have, the sophisticated iPhone, small school boys. So he said that knowledge shall increase, and once you see that knowledge has reached its peak, you also have a lot of movement. People from Russia to here, from Korea to here, Ghana to... Are we not experiencing this? Listen, Daniel again.
11:32, and such as do wickedly.
But he said that as knowledge is increasing, as people are walking to and fro, as people are moving around the globe, the people that are doing wicked against the covenant shall he corrupt.
By flatteries.
But the people
that do know their Elohim
shall
be strong.
So he said that the people that are not knowledgeable, that are not wise, the system will corrupt you. The system will make you timid, will make you lazy, will make you an unprepared person, will make you a religious person. They don't want, if you become spiritual, your parents, your friends, they will call you names. They want you to be religious. You go to church on Sunday, you go to church on Saturday. That's all that is needed. Then you are considered as a Christian. As a matter of fact, even in the Western part, you don't even have to go to church. But you are considered a Christian because according to them, their ancestors were Christians. Yet, if you enter many of them, their homes, there's no Bible, there's nothing there. Yet, religiously, they are called Christians. Listen.
And they that understand among the people shall
You see,
instruct
so
many.
now he's talking about some of us. He said that, but in that hour, around that time, when these things are happening, the ones with the understanding of Elohim that understand their happenings around you, they will instruct you. They will make sure that you are prepared. They will not tell you, wait on Gabriel coming with a UFO. They will tell you to get yourself prepared. If you don't get yourself prepared, then just accept the fact that when the bombs drop, you will die. Nobody has been raptured during a bombing. They died. When it hits your household, the thing collapses, you will bleed and die. So they who understand among you, Elohim said that they will instruct many, yet
they shall fall by the sword.
Many of us shall fall by the sword and
by the flame
and
by captivity
and
by spoil
for
many days.
Now when they shall fall,
they shall be hoping with a little help.
Elohim gives us a little bit of strength. On this earth, much of the things you have to use your own energy to do, your own strength. Elohim only meets you where you can't make it. That is what many people forget. That's why when you come into him, you claim you've repented, you panic. How come I've repented and this happened? 99% of the time is your own strength. You have to make a decision yourself that, as for me, I'm not going to the left or to the right. No spirit can prevent you from going to see Burna Boy when it comes to arena. You have to take that decision. No spirit is going to warn you, don't go. You have to take that decision that I will not get myself into places where when someone sees me, be like, hey, Harike, what do you hear? The place where when people see, they're like, hey, are you also here? Elohim only comes with 1% help to get you to cross over. But before the crossover, before everything, the Passover and everything, for example, you have to go and get yourself a lamb, slaughter it, put the blood, go in, because you couldn't be even outside. You have to go inside, lock your door, and the angel only pass by seconds. So most of the things you have to strengthen this. You have to do the reading. You have to do the prayers. You have to do the fastings. As you do these things, you are strengthening the body. The body begins to despise the things you used to love. This is not something complex. You have to follow them. Why? Because all your life you were listening to music. Those music, you can cry to the heavens and come back. It will never leave your head. That's why you claim you've repented for 15 years. As soon as you hear the in the clap beat from 50 Cent, if you don't take care, you'll be like, it's in you. There's nothing wrong with it. It's already in you. As long as you do not go and misuse it. So now what you will have to do is to feed this system with new information. It's like tech. You are now updating yourself. The update does not remove everything. It just adds a little bit of update to it so that you are up to date. That's all that it does. So don't get yourself involved in these emotional things, thinking Elohim is going to take over your body and he is going to move your legs. Like go right, go left. No. When you plan all the evil things you want to do, at that last hour is when you hear a voice behind you saying, hey boy, at that last hour. And when you ignore it and if you pay attention, that voice is not on the higher side. The voice that wants you to do evil is always do it. You can do it and ask for forgiveness. That voice of fear comes seconds. If you ignore it, it happens. So he said that many people will be instructed by people who have understanding. Listen.
Yet they shall fall by the sword, and by the flame, by captivity, and by spoil many days. Now when they shall fall, they shall be holpen with a little help.
Elohim shall grant unto us that little help is all that we need. Listen.
But many shall cleave to them with flatteries.
You see? So when you see these people following people who want to prophesy, I see this, I see your mother, I see your father, I saw in the spirit, I saw what you ate, or you live at this address. When you see 99% of the people following them, when they go live, within seconds it's 1K, 2K, 3K. Don't be jealous. He said that many of them shall cleave to them.
With flattery.
With flatteries. Why? Because they are telling them, no matter what sin you've committed, Elohim does not hate the sinner, but the sin. So it's not you. So in that case, no one will go to hell because once Elohim comes, all that he does is Elohim does, then all sins comes together and then he put it in hell. And then all human beings who committed sin are now sinless. That's the logic, if you apply it. But you know that without mankind, there is no sin. Sin, sin is not something you can touch. You have to create it before it becomes sin. So there's nothing like this is stealing. Go and grab it. You have to do the act before we can give it a name. But they are telling Elohim, he's that thing which does not actually exist until you invent it. Elohim hates that and not the inventor. These Christians, if you follow them, where you will find yourself, you will be surprised. Elohim hates you if you live in sin. He said that the one who turns away his ears from even listening to the laws, even his very prayers, is an abomination unto Elohim. Do you know what that means? But the ones with flatteries tells you, oh, it's fine, just do anything. And God is with us. And sometimes I see snippets of these big men. And then when they are seated and then people are asking them questions and about maybe geopolitics and any small thing. It's like people are like, wow, it's not a revelation. Sometimes I watch those, I'm like, wow, this world is far. People refuse to read. People refuse to follow the happenings around this world. Listen.
Verse 35. And some of them of understanding shall fall,
to try them.
and to purge.
You being tried means that Elohim is purging you, and to make them
white
righteous even to the time
end,
of the end, because
it is yet for a time appointed.
And moreover,
because the preacher was wise, he still taught the people knowledge.
No, the preacher man, when he is wise, he will prophesy to you about your address.
Because he was wise, he taught the people knowledge.
He will prophesy to you about a which he sees in the spirit doing you.
He taught the people knowledge.
A preacher, a wise, that he put the word wise there for a reason, because any fool can preach. Like one politician said in Guy, said any fool can go to court. Any fool can preach. That's why you put the word wise there, that the preacher, because he was a wise preacher, he did not get himself involved in the flatteries of the people, but he taught the people knowledge.
Yeah, he gave good heed.
He gave good heed.
And sought out and set in order many proverbs.
The preacher sought out to find out acceptable words.
And that which was written was upright.
Even
words of truth.
They were words of truth. And that's what we are about to. We are about to unbox the box for you to be prepared, for you to have an idea, so that you don't wait on any UFO coming to take you away. That you don't become like the Christians, not preparing themselves and thinking that a spirit is going to snatch them away. The terrorist attack in Moscow yesterday, I guess many of them were Orthodox Christians. When them guys were spraying the bullets, no one was raptured. The bombs that are dropping in Gaza, people are not being... Do you people... Babies are being... What are you people talking about? Even babies are being killed, and you, with all your sin, claim that you'll be snatched away because you are so precious. Can you compare yourself to a baby, a newborn baby who has not committed any sin, is even being bombed to death? Look at the table of contents.
We'll look at the notion of not suffering because of being the bride of the Messiah.
Because men, that's what the Christians tell you. I remember, like, when I was going to church, the book about Christians, the kind of statements they have. They take the book of Revelation, you see chapter 1, and then you go to chapter 2 where it begins to talk about the churches, right? The 7 so-called churches. And then you go to chapter 3, it talks about the churches as well. What the Christians do is, because the word church is there, they tell you that then after chapter 1, 2, and 3, now it means the church has been raptured. And that all the happenings from chapter 4 to 22, God is now dealing with the Israelites, because the Jews, they didn't accept Christ. So then God is going to send 2 prophets who will go there and will make them accept Christ. But at that time, and then they use this scenario that as Joseph, remember Joseph? Hey, Christians. When Joseph was revealing himself to his brothers, when they went to Egypt, according to them, the bride of Joseph was not in the house. It was done secretly. So it means that whilst the Messiah is revealing himself to his people, the Jews, the bride, which is the church, it's not disrupt.
Wow.
And then I remember I was asking them, okay, so how about the so-called Jews who now believe in Jesus? Who asked for them because they already believe they will be raptured with the church. But they really believe in these things. Christians. Yet all of these things they are saying, it's not written. Yet they've made it, and it's being taught at the Bible schools, and they feed it to you. Listen to the book.
We'll look at the second point, preparing for the wilderness. We'll look at the wilderness of the people, the refined remnant, the coming troubles against the remnant. We'll look at the protection of Yah for his remnant in the wilderness, and then a summary and conclusion.
So this is what we are about to touch on. Again, if you have any questions, you know what to do. So the first one is the notion of not suffering because of
being the bride of the Messiah.
This is their national anthem. You know, when you are the bride of Christ, we will not go through. They now have prayer, post, and whatever tribulations. Christians. Whether in the scripture does it say this is post-tribulation, this is pre-tribulation, this is
mid-tribulation.
Yet they've inserted it by force, and people really believe in it. 1 Corinthians, this New Testament, this is what they use. Behold,
I shew you a mystery.
We shall not
all sleep,
but
we shall all be changed.
So this is what they tell you, that you see, here's where the word rapture is. The scripture says, behold, we shall not all sleep, meaning die. We shall be changed in a moment.
In the twinkling of an eye.
Now pay attention. So when they read, and it's so sad. You see, when you allow the scriptures to talk, you will not make the New Testament fight the Old. They read very fast, and you don't pay attention. We are reading the same verse they use, but look at what we are doing. He said that the changing of this body will only take place at what?
At the last.
At the last trump. That's where you have to pause immediately. But because you are so excited, you want to be raptured. You don't want to pay attention. For the trumpet shall sound.
And the dead shall be raised incorruptible.
And we
shall be changed.
So this is what they use. But I just brought your attention to a word. It said, this shall only take place at the last trump, meaning at the sound of the last trumpet. So now, if you are a student of the scriptures, what you now have to do is, okay, in the scriptures, now you have to go and research and find about how many trumpets do we have. Then you will know what you will go through. Because your changing will only happen at the last one. We are going to do it. Listen.
Matthew 24:29.
Here's our New Testament stuff. We are not adding anything. See, we don't add, yet they call us names. They who say that it will be like Joseph and his brothers. And where is it written? We who don't add anything, we give it as it is written. They say that we are the ones who are Antichrist. Listen to the book.
Immediately after.
This is the Messiah speaking. He said, immediately after.
The tribulation.
Not before, not
days.
Post, not mid. Not pray. He said, immediately after.
The tribulation of those days.
After means once all the tribulation has taken place. Meaning at the last trump. Shall the sun be darkened?
And the moon shall not give her light.
And
the stars shall fall from
and the
heaven,
powers of the heavens
shall be shaken.
And then they shall see the sign
of the Son of Man in heaven.
And then
shall all the tribes of the earth mourn. And they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. So we see Paul in 1 Corinthians 15 says, this transformation will only happen at the last trumpet. The Messiah himself tells you this
thing is going to happen immediately after all tribulation. So you have to find out about all the tribulation in the scriptures and see whether you will not go, because he says it will only happen after all the tribulations. But your pastor still tells you, no, there's pre-tribulation, there's mid-tribulation. Huh? So now I want to show you the trump for you to pay attention when you read. Listen.
Revelations 10 verse 7.
But in the days
of the voice of the seventh angel.
So now, we are now showing that there are now 7 angels. When you read, when you read Revelation, there are 7 angels. Each one of them is holding a trumpet. And as he blows, it comes with woes. It comes with warnings. It comes with tribulations. It comes with wars and rumors of wars and bloodshed. Each one of them has one trumpet. As he's blowing, things are happening. 7 of them. So what this means is that the first 6 will have to blow. And even the 7th will have to come and blow before we can have after. Meaning all 7 woes you read in Revelations will have to come to pass before the coming of the Messiah, before the changing of your body. Because that is the last trumpet. But you see, when you read, because you were a religious fanatic, you skipped the last trump, you removed it. And so you will be changed when? Because you cannot say we will be changing and you don't tell us when, because we have to be prepared. You cannot just give a vague statement, you will be changed. When? 1,000 years, 2,000 years, 5,000 years. But the scripture gave you an indication that you have to connect other dots. Go and research and find the last trump. Listen.
But in the days of the voice of the 7th angel, when he shall begin to sound,
listen,
the mystery of Yah should be finished, as he has declared to his servants,
as he has declared to his servants, the prophet. Listen to this. I'm showing you example. Listen, Matthew
24:13. But he that shall endure unto the end.
No, before the end.
Unto the end.
Middle, in between.
He that shall endure unto the end.
People, this is the Messiah himself speaking. He that is able to endure to the last, not even till after the last trumpet,
the same shall be
the
saved.
same shall be saved. Meaning, after all the tribulations written in the scriptures, the same shall be saved. Listen, now we are back in Revelations again, 11:15. And the 7th angel, as I told you, he did what?
He sounded.
Meaning he was also holding a trumpet. He's the last angel to sound the trumpet. At the last trump, then there were great voices saying, the kingdoms
of this world are become the kingdoms of our master.
Listen.
And of his anointed, and he shall reign forever and ever.
Listen.
And the 7th angel,
this is 16, Revelation 16,
verse 17.
And this is the same 7th angel. He has a trumpet. As he sounds, once he is done with sounding, that is when the happenings. So he has a vow. He has things he will perform for things to happen on this earth. As soon as he was done sounding the last trumpet, what happened? He poured out his vial into the air.
And there came a great voice out of the temple of heaven,
saying,
from the throne, saying, it is done.
That is when everything was done. So if you are a believer, a righteous person, a spiritual person, what you want to do right now is a homework. Is for you to now take your time and go and read from Revelations all the way from 1 to 22. Because when he sounded he sounded in chapter 16, it went all the way to 22. Until it was finished. Then you will know whether you have to prepare yourself or not. That is the last trumpet. The last trumpet is when Babylon falls. And you are there believing in a fantasy. John 16, verse 3. These things
I have spoken unto you,
that ye might have,
that in me ye might have peace.
that in me. So this is the Messiah speaking, that before he died, all of a sudden his tone changed. He began to tell them about some happening. So the people, the disciples, were a little bit dismayed. They were sad. And then he told them that I have shown you all of these things that are about to happen, so that in me
ye might have
you
peace.
will still have some level of peace. But as long as you are in this world,
ye shall have tribulation.
no, if you are the bride of Christ, you will not have tribulation.
In the world ye shall
So which
have
word do we
tribulation.
believe? That of your pastor or that of the Messiah? Many of you've elevated your pastors above the angels, above the Messiah himself. He said that as long as you are in this world, you will have tribulation. Your pastor says, no. If you are in Christ, all things are new. Behold, the Bible says, and you are like, because you don't want to get prepared. The Messiah said that as long as you are here, you will hear about rumors of war, earthquakes, slavery, captivity, the stars of the heavens falling. And according to you, that is not tribulation, that is not suffering, because you are a Christian. When Boko Haram goes to the Christian churches and they fire the AK-47, it doesn't go off. Oh, as for them, their Christianity is not good. That is not suffering. That is not tribulation. Go to India and see what they do to your so-called Christians in Pakistan. That is not tribulation according to your pastor. But as long as it happens, and Master, black people, you don't need religious persecution. Once you are born in Africa, that itself is persecution.
Tribulation.
And tribulation. When you are born in Africa, the fact that you are there is a tribulation on itself. If you're a woman, do you know how many men will sleep with you before you even find a job in Africa? Everyone will take advantage of you. And according to you, that is not tribulation because your pastor says so. So we didn't spend too much time on that, but I've shown you just with few verses that what they are telling you is not logical. It doesn't make sense. So please take your time, go and research in the scriptures when the last trump take place, the activities. Once you are finished even chapter 6 of Revelation alone, you will get yourself prepared.
You are weeping.
Just chapter 6 alone, don't even go further. You yourself, you will advise yourself, because that is just the first trump. So now preparing
for the wilderness.
Listen.
Matthew 4 verse 1. Then was Yahushua led up of the Spirit.
So the Messiah himself was led by the Spirit into
the wilderness to be tempted of the devil.
You see, many people think the wilderness is like, they think it's like Sahara Desert. That's why the mind, many people think like wilderness means, Sahara Desert, nothing is there. It's a place, it's a term used for a place of needy, a place where you will have to depend on someone. It's not Sahara Desert. He was led spiritually into a place because he was in a wilderness mode. He was fasting. He was praying. He was hungry. He needed something. So spiritually, he was led into the wilderness to be tempted. So the term wilderness is not like one place like a Sahara Desert. No. It has different meanings. And we will just touch briefly on some of them. Listen.
Isaiah 35 verse 1.
The wilderness
and the solitary place shall be glad for them.
And now the desert itself
shall rejoice and blossom as the rose.
So that's giving you two meanings. The wilderness is different from even the desert. The wilderness, a place where people need something, and the solitary place and the desert will even rejoice and blossom as the rose. Listen.
Then shall the lame man leap as an hart,
Listen.
and the tongue of the dumb sing. For in the wilderness shall waters break out.
For where scarcity is, there shall be hope. That's what this means.
And streams in the desert.
Listen.
Jeremiah 9:26.
Egypt and Judah
and Edom
and the children of Ammon
and Moab
and all that are in the utmost corners
that dwell in the wilderness.
You see, he's telling you Egypt, Judah, Edom, Ammon, Moab, and many people in various corners are dwelling in wilderness. Are they dwelling on the Sahara Desert? All of them are in a place they need help. They need help. Listen.
For all these nations are uncircumcised.
That is the thing, because Elohim is not found. So when Elohim is not found around you, you are in a dry land, you are in a desert, you are in a wilderness. And all the house of Israel
are uncircumcised in the heart.
That's the year of Jeremiah 31 verse 2.
The people which were left of the sword.
The people that were left of the sword
found grace in the wilderness.
They found grace
in the wilderness.
Some people, they were left of the sword, meaning Yah spared them from being, for example, taken into slavery or going through war. And they found grace in the wilderness. Listen.
Even Israel, when I went to cause him to rest.
You see, by the time he's coming, we will be in a place that without him we can't function. Because unwalled villages is a wilderness. It means you are not protected. It means anyone can come and take over your place. On this earth, if the West decides to now colonize Africa again, what can Congo do? What can Ghana do? Nigeria? Or that small land, Benin, Togo, Nigeria, Chad, Central African Republic, Somaliland. That's for them. They will fight a little. Ethiopians might fight a little. Sudan, North Sudan, South Sudan, Tanzania, Swaziland. Just listen to it. Not one of them have a jet fighter. That is the unwalled villages the scripture speaks about. Not one of these nations in Africa have even one jet fighter. As a matter of fact, the price of one F-35, just one airplane, jet fighter of the United States, the money is more than most of the African nations, their budget.
Sad story.
So don't calm down and just let the book talk, so that you don't get yourself in this. I remember when some brothers started, was it GOCC, I guess. Many of them moved to that desert zone, Israel, because they believe that, something is about to happen and we have to be there. And they moved. The Ashkenazis, they don't joke with Negroes. Nowadays, you will see to Ethiopians and some blacks, it's not that they love them, they are using them for military purposes. They send them to Gaza to go and fight so that you'll be killed. If you go there, the first thing they tell you is that you have to be in uniform, you have to go and fight. So many of us, because they don't have patience, they just rush. Now is the time, we have to move, and you move. And once you go there, what are you going to eat? And you are forgetting that the world has laws and policies. You can't move from one region to the other like Africa. After Africa, you can just cross over. These nations, you have to go through the legal means. And they will send you back and classify you as an illegal person. Too many of the brothers, they went, and then when things they are now spread all over. So please calm down. Don't rush. Listen, Ezekiel
29 verse 5.
And I will leave
thee thrown into the wilderness,
thee and all
the fish of thy rivers,
thou shalt fall
upon the open fields,
thou shalt
not be brought together,
no,
nor gathered.
I have given thee
for meat to the beasts of the field.
So when you rebel against Yah, he will scatter you across. Wherever he scattered you into, he classified that area as a wilderness. A wilderness is like a jungle. There's no law and order. It means that that place, Yah is not there with you. So anything can happen to you. Listen.
And I will make with them a covenant of peace, and I will cause the evil beast to cease.
But they said that later on, when we begin to pay a little bit of attention to him, there's no way all of us can pay attention. Just some little bit. Then he who told you in 29 that he will cause beasts to come after you in the wilderness, now he will cause the evil beast to cease
out of the land.
Out of the land.
And they shall dwell safely in the wilderness.
And then we will dwell safely within the unwalled villages. There are no lions, tigers, whatever, running in the Middle East. So don't be talking about any evil beasts there. There are no evil beasts. They have sheep and goats and camels and horses. So you know what? And here in Holland, you don't even have a snake with poison, with venom, walking outside. Go and walk in the grass in Congo and see. One viper will destroy your nature. So that's where evil beasts are. Listen to the book.
Hosea 2:14.
Therefore, behold,
I will allure her
and bring
her into the wilderness
and speak
comfortably unto her.
So that's where we are heading to. When he's about to come, the gathering, he's not going to hold your hands like this and place you there. You yourself, you will run there. That is what you forget. No one is going to fly like Superman and go there. You yourself, because of the things that will happen, the earthquakes, the wars, the bombs, you yourself, you will abandon everything you have in the West and run into the continent. And when we entered there, we did not go there because we are holy people. That's why I told you last week, the people that were moving from Egypt to Israel, they were not holy. You have everything among them. But there was an opportunity for them to just cross over. But once they crossed over, then Yah begins to tempt them to see who is loyal and who is not. That is what will happen. Listen.
Revelations 12:6. And the woman fled into the wilderness.
So you see once again, the woman fled into the wilderness where
she had a place prepared.
So you see, that's why I told you that the wilderness is not Sahara Desert. Can you take a woman to Sahara Desert and tell her you've prepared a place for her? Which place? There's no river. It is a place where all your help comes from Yah. You depend solely on Yah for protection. So he said that because of the persecution, Yah scattered his people into the wilderness of a place where he had prepared a place for her. Listen.
That they should feed her there 1,230 score days.
That wilderness, that place will feed the woman and her descendants for thousands of years. It means that it is a place that has food, rivers, valleys, streams. Because how can you feed millions of people, billions of people for thousands of years on Sahara Desert? Listen.
And to the woman were given 2 wings of a great eagle,
Listen.
that she might fly into the wilderness, into her place, where she's nourished for a time and times and half a time.
So this is where they get the pre-tribulation, mid-tribulation, and post-tribulation from, where it says time, times, and half a time. But he just explained what that means to you in verse 6, where he said that they should feed her 1,203 score days. It's the same thing that he has repeated here. But you find pre, mid, and post in this. How come you didn't place it in the 1,203 score days? And these are not days, these are years. Because unto Yah, you don't want to know. He told Ezekiel, he said that when he has mentioned the days to him, he told him, no, don't consider a day is a year, actually. So when you read 1,203 score days, those are years. And you have to add extra time. The extra time can even be 500 years, 700 years. You add it together, you are 2,000 plus. That's why everything is happening in our time. Because we are 2,000 years plus after the Messiah came. In line with what was written here. Listen.
Revelation 17:3.
So he carried me away
in the spirit into the wilderness,
and I saw a woman
sit upon a scarlet-colored beast.
So this is Babylon. Babylon is not living in Sahara Desert. But that place is also called a wilderness. Why? Because there's no law and order. It's a place where a woman can marry a beast or a dog or a tree. And when he's marrying or she's marrying the dog, these Western people, did you ask the dog whether it accept that proposal or not? That the dog will have to do woo, woo, and it means that it has accepted it. You see? It's a wilderness. Listen to the book.
And I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast, full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns.
Listen.
Hebrews 11:13.
These all died
in faith,
not having received
the promises,
but having seen them
afar off,
and
were persuaded of them,
and embraced them,
and confessed that they were strangers
See,
and pilgrims.
Here's where I
on the
want
earth.
you to pay attention to. Don't follow the Christians. He said that the people that will be saved were people considered on this earth. They consider themselves as strangers and pilgrims. Pilgrims are people who move from the east to the west, north to the south, always seeking new shelter. Meaning that when the things are happening, don't stay at one location. But you say that no, remain at your house address. The angels in heavens, they've written all your addresses. So they will come here and park. The UFO will hover on my building. And then I will go out and then it goes to your place. And then maybe they will have to do Harike, you are delaying, come out. The Mokros are all in west looking at Harike, running away. And they will leave him. And they will not try to escape as well. That is not logical. It doesn't make sense. That is a fantasy. And you see it in wars. Like, you remember when the war started in Ukraine? There were so many Negroes who were students in Ukraine who were just trying to board a train from Ukraine to a different. What happened to them? The racist Western people beat them up, threw them off the train. They're like, "Are you mad? We are saving blue-eyed people, orange-skinned people, and here you Somali die." Let alone a UFO that is taking you to heaven. They will drop an atomic bomb to just make it in that UFO. So please calm down and don't get yourself involved in this. It sounds, to the ears, it sounds, wonderful, but it does not make sense. Listen.
1 Peter 2:11.
Dearly,
beloved,
I beseech you,
as strangers and pilgrims.
This is New Testament stuff. Both saying the same thing to you, that please become like strangers, become like pilgrims on the earth. Don't wait for any UFO. Don't wait for anyone who is coming to so-called rapture you. It's not going to happen. Prepare yourself. If you live in a country, you see they are fighting, civil war is coming, and you don't run away with your kids or with your family, you will die. When it started in Rwanda, the Hutus and the Tutsis, the ones who were white, they fled. They fled with their family. The ones who were there, it's not going to happen. Before they knew, they were being slaughtered. So when you see refugees, people running away from their country, they are not stupid. They want to live longer. So please calm down and stop these emotional teachings. That's all that it is, emotional teachings that, as for you, nothing bad will happen to you. But you get sick, you get accident, you lose your job. All the things that happen on this earth happen to you people in the church, but according to you, it's not tribulation. The wilderness of the people. Listen, Ezekiel
20 verse 33.
As
I live,
said
Yah Elohim,
surely with a mighty
hand and with a stretched out arm, and with fury poured out will I rule
So
over
when
you.
he is coming, Elohim is not going to beg us. He said that he's going to, the scripture said that he will rule us with a rod of iron. Do you know what that means? A rod of iron. By force, dictatorship. And I will bring you out
from the people, and will gather you out of the countries wherein ye are scattered,
with
a mighty hand and with a stretched out arm and with fury poured out.
Listen.
And I will bring you into the wilderness of the people.
Pause there. It's not an unknown place. It's a wilderness of the people. When he's about to rule over us with all the force, he will gather all of us into the wilderness
of the people.
And we saw it previously. And as we go on, you will see, listen.
And there will I plead with you face to face.
That is when he will begin, the Son of Man will plead with us face to face. Listen.
Like as I pleaded with your fathers in the wilderness of the land of Egypt,
listen.
So will I plead with you, says Yah Elohim.
So we will see the presence of Yah as it was during the time of the people of Israel coming out of Egypt. Listen.
And I will cause you to pass under the rod.
He will cause you to pass under the rod.
And I will bring you into the bond of the covenant.
And he will force you into the bond of the covenant.
And I will purge out from among you the rebels.
So you see, if this was done in a UFO, all of us have been raptured. How come he's purging us? He said that he will have to, and that's why I gave you the example. When the things have happened, all of them are leaving Egypt, then the good, the bad, and the ugly, all of them will join. So also even the Christians who don't believe our sayings, when the bombs are dropping, nobody will tell them to flee. They also want to live longer. Everyone, the good, the bad, and the ugly, including even the other nations, there will be a mixed multitude that will be moving out to a safer place. That's what the wilderness means. And when bombs are dropping in Europe, in the Western world, no one is going to move to Asia. Because the dragon is there, China is there. They are also dropping bombs. The only continent without bombs, you know where it is. There are no bombs there. Nobody will fire a bomb from there. There's nothing there. So they show you in the movie 2012, when everything has capsized, everything is destroyed. The submarine, so-called, heads to where? Africa. And you yourself, you should just use reasoning. When bombs have dropped, nations are being destroyed, it means that the food and everything is cut off. The production. The place where the arable land is, where you can grow stuff and eat, is Africa, is 60-something%. You yourself, when you use logic, you yourself, you will run there. So once all of us have moved there and the mixed multitude is there, Elohim will now have to purge us. Because by the time the Messiah is coming, Africa is full. Many people have run away from the West. All of them are there. The good, the bad, and the ugly. So Yah will now have, as he did in the days of the people of Israel, now he has to purge us. Listen.
And I will purge out from among you the rebels.
The rebels, meaning as it happened back then, rebels will be found among us. Unbelievers, hypocrites, killers, murderers, warmongers. All of them will be there. Yah will purge all of them from us, and them that transgress
against me.
I will bring them forth
out of the country where they sojourn,
and they shall not enter
into the land of Israel.
And ye shall know
that I am Yah.
So wherever he will place the new Jerusalem, before you can enter, he will have to purge us. It's not done through ships. And I know, like, when you read it, but he said that he will gather us. It should be precept upon precept. You will see how he's going to gather us. Whether he will send ships, UFOs. Listen.
Isaiah 1 verse 9.
Except Yah of hosts
had left unto us a very small remnant.
We are not many. I keep on saying this. Except Yah has left us a very small, tiny remnant. All of us would have become like Sodom. All of us would have become batty boys. That's what it means. And we should have been like
unto Gomorrah.
Listen.
And it shall come to pass in Isaiah 10:20 in that day that the remnant of Israel, such as are escaped
so
of
here
the house
it is.
of
So
Jacob.
You see the gathering. The remnant are the people that have escaped. They've run. Listen.
Shall no more again say or stay upon him that smote them, but shall stay upon Yah.
He shall no more stay with the one who smote him. Meaning the slave shall no more stay in the country that enslaved him. He will run. He will escape from the west. That's where you were taken to. But shall stay upon Yah,
the Holy One of Israel, in truth.
The remnant shall
return, even the remnant of Jacob, unto the mighty Elohim.
That's why precept should be upon. So when he says he's gathering you, that's what it means. Because if the master's house is bombed, the master is now powerless. Won't the slave escape? The slave will escape because the house of the master is destroyed. Listen.
Isaiah 37:32. For out of Jerusalem shall go forth a remnant.
Listen.
And they that escape out of Mount Zion, the zeal of Yahweh shall do this.
Listen.
Jeremiah 23.
And I will gather
the remnant of my flock out of all countries whither I have driven them.
And I will bring them
again to their folds, and they shall be fruitful and increase.
For lo, the days come,
says Yah, that I will bring again the captivity of my people Israel and Judah, says Yah.
And I will cause them
to return to the land.
No, I will rapture them.
I will cause
them to flee, to escape, to return to the land
that I gave to their fathers.
And they shall
possess it.
But according to you, a UFO is coming to rapture you to heaven. But he said that you will return to where it all started on this earth. Any questions so far? Plain and simple. The refined remnant. Listen.
Zechariah 2:1. I lifted up my eyes
So
again.
now he lifted up his eyes, and I looked, and behold, a man
with a measuring line in his hand.
Angel with a measuring stick in his hand.
Then said I,
and then I said,
Whither goest thou?
Angel, where are you going to?
And he said unto me, to measure Jerusalem.
This is to tell you that Jerusalem is not a place, it's the people. Ghana or Congo. When you move the people of Congo from Congo and they'll go to Australia and they name Australia Congo, it becomes the land of the Congolese. So don't be a person who is, many of them are so focused on a place, in Jerusalem, you really want to leave this place and go to that desert area called Jerusalem in the Middle East. To do what? There's not enough space there, so they have to rob the Arabs. That's why they are bombing them. Because if they were in Congo, there is plenty of land. You don't have to care for it. Yeah? So this will tell you that when we talk, it says that he's going to measure, meaning he's going to seal the people that are holy, the righteous people, not a piece of. Now he's going to measure a land he created. When Elohim created the earth, he didn't know the measurement. To see what is
the breadth thereof,
and what is
the length thereof.
And this is the same thing you see in Revelation 11. It's the same thing, precept upon precept, measuring Jerusalem. And then he said that the cord that is without leave, meaning as for the Gentiles, do not count them. Listen.
And behold, the angel that talked with me went forth, and another angel went out to meet him.
And he said unto him, Run,
speak to this young man,
saying,
Jerusalem shall be inhabited as towns without walls.
You see, after he has measured the people, now he tells them that, behold, a day is coming where my people shall live without protection. Go to Israel. Is the most walled, fenced country on this earth. For you to just move like here to Chris, it's like less than 1 minute. If you are an Israeli, that is fine. You can move through the walls. If you're a Palestinian, it can take you 5 hours because they will not allow you pass through the walls. You have to take car, go all the way to Amsterdam West. You don't know what the Palestinians are going through. It's the most fenced, the most defensive, the most walled place on this earth. But the scriptures say that the wilderness of the people of Yah, the real Jerusalem, it is not a fenced city. So either Yah is a liar or the Jews are lying. And I would prefer to choose Yah. So worse than these Ashkenazis. And he said that it has to be a place without borders, without protection. Why? Because the multitude of men and cattle. How can you bring cattle, multitude of cattle to Sahara Desert, to the Middle East, for them to eat what?
Sand.
So when you are reading, pay attention. It is a place, a fertile land. That multitude upon these people are just 6 million, they don't even fit there. Congo alone is more than 100 million. The Ethiopians are 100 and something million. Nigerians are almost 300 million now. The black Brazilians are also now getting to 100 million. Can we fit in present day Israel? Listen to the book.
Verse 5.
Listen.
For I, says Yah, will be unto her a wall of fire.
It is Yah who will be a wall of fire, a protection.
And will be the glory in the midst of her.
Listen.
Ho, ho. Come forth.
You see, so that's why I told you the gathering. He said that I will gather you, but when he says it, that's why he said that, and the people with understanding shall instruct. He will make sure that he has placed people to explain it to you what it means. Was it not Elohim who gathered the Israelites from Egypt to Israel? Did he hold their hands like this and drag them? He instructed a wise man, Moses, to lead them. That's what it means. Doesn't mean that he's going to rapture you. He will use men to instruct you when to move. So now in verse 8, he said that ho, come forth
and flee from the land of the north.
If he's going to rapture you, how come he's telling you to run away? Hariki, I'm going to send UFO to rapture you, but at the same time, I'm telling you run away from the land of the north. And when he say the land of the north, that's why I said that you can place it even in the Middle East if you want. Anything north is the west. That's why it is referred to as North America and the West, Europe. He said that who come forth and flee from the land
of the north.
Say it, yeah.
For I have spread you abroad as the four winds of the heaven.
He's telling you that he knows that he has scattered you into all corners of this earth. But for you to be saved, for you to be numbered, when the bombs are dropping, he said, flee. Run. He didn't say run away from the land of the south. But he said run away from the lands of the north. That's where the things are going to happen. The fact that the West, they are enemies of Russia alone should tell you that something is doing them. They are playing with destiny. They are playing with lives. Thousands of nuclear weapons, and they still don't see the danger. Listen to the book.
Deliver thyself.
No, I will come and rapture you.
Deliver thyself.
No, I will send Angel and Michael and Gabriel and Uriel.
Deliver thyself.
They shall come with UFO spaceships.
Deliver thyself.
No, I will come and rapture you.
Deliver thyself.
What are you people reading that we don't see? Deliver yourself, run, flee, escape.
O Zion.
O Zion that dwells
with the daughter of Babylon.
And that is the land of the north. The daughter of Babylon. That is the one you see fallen in chapter 17 and 18 of Revelation. Old Testament is saying the same thing. That when it comes to the daughter of Babylon, when you are living with them, and you hear rumors of war and the things that deliver yourself. Don't wait on Angel Gabriel. Run. Verse 8, listen.
For thus said Yah of hosts,
after
the glory hath he sent me unto the nations which spoiled you.
For he that touched you
touched the apple of his eye.
And the pastors turned this around. That this is for them. If you touch, don't speak evil about my prophet, because the Bible said that he's the eye of. This is for all of us. He that touches you touches the apple of his eye. For behold, I will shake
my hand upon them, and they shall be a spoil to their servants,
and ye shall know
that Yah of hosts has sent me.
Sing and rejoice, O
daughter of Zion.
For lo, I come.
And I will dwell in the midst of
By the time he comes and he's going to dwell, he can only dwell among you because you yourself, you fled there. You are waiting on him. So he said he will come and dwell in your midst, not on your house address where you are fled to. And that's why I told you that it will be a mixed multitude. He said, and many nations shall
be joined to Yah in
many
that day.
people, when bombs are dropped, who doesn't want to be alive? People will flee to a safe zone. So the gathering, no, that's why I said that no one will hold your hands. You yourself, you will know where to flee to. All the planes will be heading there, all the ships will be heading there. And many nations shall be joined to Yah.
And shall be my people, and I will dwell in the midst of thee, and thou shalt know that Yah of hosts has sent me
and
unto
Yah
thee.
shall then inherit Judah,
his portion in the Holy Land,
and shall choose
Jerusalem again.
Be silent, O
All flesh,
before Yah,
for he is raised up out of his holy habitation.
Listen, the book of Jeremiah 30.
Verse 4, and these
So
are the
when
words.
the bombs have dropped, and we have all fled, most people will flee. And these are the words that Yah speak concerning Israel and concerning
Judah.
For that said the Almighty.
We have heard a voice of trembling, of fear, and not of peace. Ask ye now and see whether a man doth travail with child.
Wherefore do I see
every man with his hand on his loins as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned unto paleness.
Alas, for that day is great,
so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble,
but
he shall be saved out of
it. So when we are fled, soon and very soon, I think there will be a teaching on Gog and Magog, the Gog or Magog. That's when you understand. Because even right now, everything from Africa, they are the ones who determine the price. So what do you think? The bombs have dropped in Africa. They will let you be. They will come and take over. Because they still have their military, the warships, the submarines, the weapons are still there. And when they are coming, you will fear for your life because you have nothing to fight them. They are not going to beg you. When you read the book of Revelation, it said that they assembled a military of 200 million soldiers. Would they fit in the present day of what they call Israel? 200 million? No. They will come and surround the whole sub-Saharan because that's where the Arab land is. That's where nothing has for. You know that North Africa will burn as well. Listen to the book.
Ezekiel 6 verse 8. Yet will I leave a remnant,
that ye may
have some that shall escape the sword among the nations.
You see, so when the bombs are falling, there will still be a remnant. Some of them will manage to escape. When they shall be scattered
through the countries,
people will escape and will make it out alive. Listen.
Amos 9:12,
that they may possess
the remnant of Edom
and
of all the heathen which are called by my name, says
so
Yah.
the ones who will join us, then his people will possess them, meaning his people will rule over them when Yah, the Son of Man, has been revealed. Listen. But before then, you will be the slave still. Because they will come and surround you. And when they are coming, it's not like then they will first come, do whatever they will do before that's when we have to cry unto Yah first. If you don't need Yah, he doesn't come. Listen.
Zechariah 13:8.
And it shall come to pass in that day, or in all the land, listen.
Says Yah, two parts therein shall be cut off and die.
You don't know. 2/3 of all shall be destroyed.
But the third shall be left therein.
Only when they are coming with bombs, and Yah have removed men
far away.
This is Isaiah 6 verse 12. Listen.
And there be a great forsaking in the midst of the land.
But yet
in it shall be a tent, and it shall return, and shall be eaten as a tale tree and as an oak, whose substance is in them.
When
they cast their leaves, so the holy seed shall be the substance thereof.
2/3, after that 1/10. So not many people will make it, because there are all kinds of people, the good, the bad, and the ugly. All of them are part. And you know that we'll be fighting among. When there's no food, what do you think people are going to do? Look at what Corona, common, what is it called? Toilet paper. People were willing to kill it. Toilet paper, not even food. Common toilet paper. You saw old folks. Oh my goodness. So what do you think people are going to do in the wilderness when everyone is there and they want to eat the same food? Because then there will be no importation of rice coming from Asia. So you know what will happen there? There will be no noodles, instant noodles.
Indomie
noodles. It will be the survival of the fittest. So the coming troubles against the remnant. Listen.
2 Baruch 27.
We are now heading towards the end. You've seen what is happening. You see bombs will be dropped. That's why I say that, like what will happen in our time, Elohim doesn't have to do any spiritual thing for people to wake up. You yourself, you will see it and you will run. Nuclear weapons are coming, you won't run. Shalom, you will still remain. The bomb is coming. You hear that Paris has been bombed. Paris is gone. In seconds, it's gone. You remain in Amsterdam. You won't run. You will not even. You can't even head to the airport. Everyone will just with your car, like what the Mokros do. You are just running. If you have not run before it happened. And they show it to you in movies, especially with these electric cars they are making. There's one movie, I've forgotten, it was released this year, that black guy in...
I know it, yeah.
And the Teslas were driving... When things happen, electric cars, you know, you can't, there's no movement. Because they use electric. When these bombs explode, it fries the electric system. So if you have electric car, forget it, you have to walk. Elon Musk can take over your car. Can you imagine it? You want to go west, he is bringing you to east. Listen to the book. We are now in 2 Baruch.
27 from 1.
Listen.
And Yah answered and said to me.
Yah answered and said unto me.
That time will be divided into 12
So he asked
parts.
him, okay, so what will happen towards or to this earth? And Elohim said to him, listen.
That time,
the end times will be divided into 12 parts, like the clock.
And each part has been preserved for that for which it was appointed.
Each one of them falls under a certain trumpet of an angel. Let's look at them. Listen.
In the first part
is the beginning
of commotion.
It's the beginning of confusion. We are confused. We don't know. A woman is no more a woman. A man is no more a man. You can now marry a dog, a tree, a door. Total confusion. The earth. We don't know. We read, we don't understand. Addicted to drugs, crazy things, confused. And the second part,
the slaughtering of the
the
great.
slaughtering of the great. People will now go after millionaires, billionaires, politicians. When the system breaks down, what do? We target the rich. Because you think that's where the food is. And when the multitude are coming, you can't stop them. Listen, and the third,
the fall of many into death.
the fall of many into people are going to die because of starvation, because of drought. Listen.
In the fourth part, the drawing of the sword.
In the fourth part, the drawing of the sword, meaning wars and rumors of war. Listen.
In the fifth part, famine and the withholding
Once
of
war
rain.
has taken place, automatically war leads to famine and withholding of rain because the bombs burn all of these trees. It becomes a desert. There's no rain there. Listen.
In the sixth part, earthquakes and terrors.
And then you will have earthquakes, storms, hurricanes, tsunamis in various places. Listen.
In the eighth part, a multitude of ghosts and the appearance of demons.
So when the scripture say that he promised them, that's why I keep on emphasizing, that's why the Messiah promised them the Holy Spirit. People are the spirit around, you go to churches. Even their prophecy should tell you what is living in them. Whenever their eyes open, they only see the devil. The one who possesses you is the one who reveals his glory to you. He doesn't reveal things about other entities because he wants you to have safety in him, trust in him. So any person, as soon as his eyes open, oh, I see the devil, I see this, I see demons, it means that the spirit in him is demonic. It's not of Yah. All the prophets before me from the scriptures, whenever their eyes pop open, what did Isaiah see? What did Jeremiah see? What did Ezekiel see? What did Enoch see? They saw the heavens and its glory. Your pastor only sees demon, Mami Wata, Papa Wata, demonic, Azazel, devil. They call someone, they call him Lucifer. They call him Asmodeus. That's all that they see. Demonic activities everywhere. And the ninth part, the fall
of fire.
That is the weapons. When we will see fire falling from those are the missiles, the weapons of mass destruction. Listen.
In the 10th part, rape and much violence.
So the scripture said that woe unto you women who are at ease. You see it in the movie, The Book of Eli. And wherever you are, when war is going on, women, what you go through, you don't want to know. Even a small boy with a pistol, a small boy, 10 years can rape you with a pistol because there's no law and order. You can't pick the telephone and call 911. The 911 itself has been bombed. In the 11th part,
injustice and unchastity.
And in the 12th part,
disorder and the mixture of all that has been before. So the 12th
part is where we are now in. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 mixed together. So tsunamis are going on, earthquakes are going on, rape, demons, bombings, war, rumors of war, rape, drought, everything put together. Listen.
These parts of that time will be preserved and will be mixed one with another, and they will minister to each other.
You will see it in the east, in the west, in the north, in the south. For some of these parts
will withhold a part of themselves and take from others, and will accomplish that which belongs to them and to others.
Hence,
those who live on earth in those days will not understand that it is the end of times.
That's why people are confused. There are so many crazy things happening around us. And because of that, it's like we become used to. It's become normal to us. He said that there will be so much crazy things happening left, right, east, north, south, that the people will be like, but there has always been war going on. There's always earthquake. It has become normal. That's when you know that the end has come. The book of Zechariah 14:1.
Behold,
Listen.
the day of Yah comes, and thy spoil shall be divided in the midst of
For I
thee.
will gather
All nations against Jerusalem to battle,
and the city
shall be taken,
and
and
the
the houses
houses,
rifled, and the women ravished,
and half of the city
shall go forth into captivity, and the residue of the people shall not be cut off from the city.
then shall Yah
go forth and fight against those nations, as when he fought in the day of
So
battle.
you will see all of these nations coming around the wilderness because they want to eat. Their countries are destroyed. And that's what people. So when their countries are destroyed, you think the military with guns, they are going to beg you that, oh, Ghana, please give me food. They are coming to take over your country by force. Then shall.
And his feet shall stand in that day upon the Mount of Olives,
Which is
before Jerusalem on the east.
There is no mountain in Jerusalem. The Jerusalem you know. There's only a hill. Listen.
And the Mount of Olives shall cleave in the midst thereof, towards the east and towards the west.
And there shall be
a very great valley, and half of the mountain shall remove towards the north, and half of it towards the south.
So what this thing is talking, many people, let me tell you something about when you read prophecy. Don't think it's an act that happened in one day. This thing is thousands of years going into the verse 2, going into captivity. This is talking about his people going to slavery and everything. It goes all the way to when we are gathered in the wilderness and they come again. It's thousands of years. And look at this again. And you will flee
to the valley of the mountains.
He's telling you that you will have to run to that valley where he is for you to be protected. He's not going to send you UFOs, Hebrew Israelite people. You have to run, flee. You will flee to the valley of the mountains, for the valley of the mountains shall reach
unto Azal.
Yea, ye shall flee. He repeats it once again for a reason. Like as he fled before
the earthquake in the days of Uzziah, king of Judah,
and Yah my Elohim
shall come
and all the saints
with thee.
Listen.
And it shall come to pass in that day
that the light
shall not be clear nor dark.
Listen.
But it shall be one day which shall be known to Yah,
not
day nor night.
But it shall come to pass
that at evening time it shall be light.
When he is coming, it will be at the twilight of the day. Little bit dark, all of a sudden, brightness. Everyone will know that the touchdown was happened. And he said that you must watch. He mentioned it twice. And you are there waiting on an UFO. On the UFO is what? Unidentified flying object. An object you cannot identify. You want to run into it. What happens if you enter and Kim Jong-un is waiting? He wants to eat your eyes, but he's already holding the sticks. Don't let emotions trick you, please. Jeremiah
51 from 9.
We would have healed
Babylon,
but she
is not healed. Forsake her.
No, remain in her. I will send you UFOs.
Forsake her.
No, don't run away. I will send angel to come and rapture you.
Forsake
He's
her.
telling you, run, forsake her.
And let us go,
and
everyone,
let us go, everyone,
into his
that
own
is the wilderness, your own country, where you originated from. The Hebrew lands, the sub-Saharan countries. Forsake her, run away from the northern territories and go into your own country for a judgment.
Reach it unto heaven,
and is
lift it up even to the skies.
Mark 13 verse 4. But when
ye shall see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet,
standing
where it ought not,
let him
that reads understand.
Let the ones with the understanding instruct you. Then let them that be in Judea
flee to the mountains.
No, wait, just wait.
Flee.
People, Luke 2:1 verse 2:1. Listen.
Then let them which are in Judea flee
No,
to
wait
the
for me.
mountains. Flee to the mountains.
And let them
which are in the midst of it depart out.
He said that wherever you see war happening, flee, run, depart from it. But you are saying, no, don't, because we will come and rapture you. Isaiah 13 verse 14, listen.
And it shall be as a chased robe,
And
as a sheep that no man takes up.
Then they shall every man
turn to his own people,
and flee.
everyone into his
That's
own
why I keep on
land.
telling you that what I've seen and what is written, Elohim will not have to show you dreams. You yourself, you will run. You will flee into your own land, and everyone that is found
shall be
You
thrust.
see, he said that if you don't run away and you wait, you will be killed with them. Don't wait on any UFO. The protection of Yah for his remnant in the wilderness.
Mm-hmm.
Listen to the book. Baruch.
Second Baruch 28 verse 1.
So we are going, and that's why the deception is too much. There's no way that the Messiah can, and that's why in the beginning I told you that even use the context of the UFO. If there are 1 million people scattered on various addresses, how do you gather them? The same as if you are scattered all over, how does the Messiah protect you? You are going to see from Baruch and from the other verses, you have to be at a certain place for the protection to cover you. If you did not flee, you die there. Second Baruch 2:28 verse 1. But everyone
who will understand will be wise at that time.
For the measure
and the calculation of that time will be 2 parts, weeks of 7 weeks.
And I answered and said,
it is excellent that man should come so far and see, but it is better that he should not come so far lest he fall.
But I shall also say this.
Will he who is incorruptible despise those who are corruptible?
And will he
despise what happens with those who are corruptible?
So that he might
only look to those who are not
But
corruptible.
when Yah the Almighty, these things will surely come, of which you spoke to me before.
Let me also
But
know
when?
this.
So he's asking, but when will these things happen? Let me also know this, if I have found free
unmerited favor and pardon in your eyes.
It is.
Is it one place?
So you see, he's asking, he's like, these visions, these troubles I'm seeing, is it only going to happen at one place?
Or in one part of the earth that these things will come? Or will they be noticed by the whole earth?
Will only the Asians see it, or the whole earth will experience this? Listen.
And Yah answered and said
and
to
then
me,
the Almighty answered and said unto me,
that which will happen at that time
there's
upon the whole
So you
earth.
see, when it's starvation, we all see it on our television. When it is COVID, all of us are affected. When something happens to the gas, all of us are paying for it. Something happens to the food. You saw Corona. The prices went up, never came down to date. He said the whole earth will experience these things. Listen.
Therefore, all who live will notice it.
So this will not be a secret thing, as the Christians are telling you. It will be a secret thing, and it will come secretly, and when you are flying, can you imagine, my brother, you are in KLM flying to Ghana, and all of a sudden the pilot is raptured, and which pilot is going to be raptured where? These pilots who are squeezing the stewardess, the air hostess. What are you people talking about? No, he's not going to be raptured. He will do a touchdown with you people. Listen.
For at that time, I shall only protect.
Now pay attention to this for you UFO believing and rapture believing people. For at that time, I shall
only protect.
In law, when he uses shall, it means must, meaning there is no other option. I shall only protect those found in this land at that time. And we are not only going to take it from just one person, because the scripture says that by the testimony of two or three, that's when we should believe. Baruch is telling you that Yah is saying that at that time he shall only protect those that are found within his borders. And it will happen that when
all that which should come to pass in these parts has been accomplished,
the anointed one
will begin to be revealed.
We are now in Ezra 13, verse 23. Listen, he that shall endure
the peril in that time
has kept
himself.
Listen,
that they be fallen into danger are such as have works.
The people that go through trials and temptations are people who have works and
faith
deeds
towards
and
the
faith
Almighty.
towards the Almighty. Know this, therefore,
that they which be left behind
are more
blessed than they that be dead.
Behold, the days come
when the Most High will begin to deliver them that are upon the earth.
Listen,
and Zion shall come.
Zion will come, not UFOs will come. You will come there.
And shall be shewed to all men.
And it will be showed. Everyone will then know the people of Yah, being prepared.
And build it, like as thou saw a hill graven without hands.
Listen.
Whereas thou sawest that he gathered another peaceable multitude unto him.
Those
are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Hoshea the king,
whom
Shalmaneser the king of Assyria led away captive.
Listen.
And he carried them over the waters, and so came they into another land.
And this is what our brothers in America use, that Elohim stirred the rivers, and that's when the Latinos. Master, that is the Atlantic Ocean. That Elohim what? Opened the Atlantic Ocean for like from Middle East to America is like almost 10,000 kilometers. Can you imagine walking on the dry land in the ocean? Which water are you going to drink? When they say things, they don't pay attention. They just say because it sounds good. Listen to the book.
And so came they into another land. Verse 47.
Listen.
The highest shall stay the springs of the streams again,
that they
may go through. Therefore sawest thou the multitude with peace.
Listen.
But those that be left behind of thy people are they that are found.
You see, those that will be alive are those that are found
within my borders.
Now when
he destroys the multitude of the nations that
when
are
he is coming
together,
down, he's destroying Edom. At that same time, he shall do what?
He shall defend his people
that remain within his borders. If you are found in Edom, he cannot defend you. He's destroying the houses. He cannot come into the house and investigate first who is there, remove you, then drop the house. Then that would take like 1 billion years. You've seen Baruch saying the same thing. Esdras saying the same thing. Listen to Isaiah.
Isaiah 11 verse 11.
Listen.
And it shall come to pass in that day that Yah shall set his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of his people, which shall be left.
So those are the borders. So that's why if you allow the scriptures to talk, it will show you where the wilderness is, where the borders are. The people that are left
from Assyria,
and
from Egypt,
and
from Pathros,
and
from Cush,
and
from Elam,
and
from Shinar,
and
from Hamath, and from the islands of the sea.
Listen.
And he shall set up an ensign for the nations, and shall assemble the outcasts of Israel,
and gather
together the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth.
And once he has gathered them, that's the gathering is when they fled because of the war. Where is he going to take them to? And Yah
shall utterly destroy the tongue of the Egyptians.
So now you know the area, East Africa. That's where the tongue of the Egyptian sea is. Listen.
And with his mighty wind shall he forsake his hand, or shake his hand over the river.
The river now, listen.
And shall smite it in 7 streams,
Listen.
and make men go over dry shod.
Listen.
And there shall be an highway for the remnant of his people.
The remnant, once again, which shall be left.
From Assyria, like as it was to Israel in the day that he came up out
That's
of the land
wilderness,
of Egypt.
Sub-Saharan Africa. Zechariah 8 verse 20 and 3. That said, Yah
of hosts.
In those days,
it shall come to pass
listen,
that 10 men shall take hold out of all languages of the nation,
even shall take hold
of the skirt of him that is a Bantu Israelite,
saying,
we will go with you,
for
we have heard that Elohim is with you.
They are just saying it with their mouth because the bombs are dropping. They want to be alive. Listen to the book.
Isaiah 49:22.
That's here the Almighty.
Behold, I will lift up my hand to the Gentiles.
And then this will be their sacrifice. Some of them, for them to even be allowed. So the islands, our people in the islands, when the bombs are dropped, for these people, because they cannot just venture, they want to take people that look like the Bantus and present them like we are, it's like we are all together. We are in the same boat, right? So then you allow them come in. Behold, I will lift up my hand to the Gentiles and set up
my standard to the people.
And they shall bring
thy sons in their arms,
and
thy daughter shall be carried upon their
shoulders. They are
shoulders.
the ones who will be bringing them, the ones who are left behind and didn't die in ships. Listen.
Isaiah 60 verse 9. Surely the islands shall wait for me, and the ships of Tarshish first.
The ships of the West, Tarshish is the West people, Spain, Spanish, Portuguese. Listen.
To bring thy sons from far.
Their silver
and their gold with them.
Unto
the name of Yah thy Elohim.
And
to the Holy One of Israel. He has glorified thee.
And the sons
of strangers shall build up thy walls.
And their kings
shall minister unto thee.
For
in my wrath I smote thee, but in my favor have I had mercy
therefore
on thee.
Thy gates
shall be open continually.
They shall not be shut
day nor night.
Listen.
That man may bring unto thee the forces of the Gentiles, that their kings may be brought.
So the ones in the islands, that's what is going to happen. They shall bring them in ships, begging so that they can make it alive. Listen, Baruch
29 verse 4.
And Behemoth
will reveal itself from its place.
And Leviathan will come
from the sea.
The two
great monsters which I created on the 5th day of creation, and which I shall have kept until that time. And there will be nourishment for all who are left.
All that it means is that he will provide fishes upon fishes from the oceans for them to be used as food for the people who will be left behind. Listen.
29:5. The earth will also yield its fruit 10,000-fold, and on one vine will be 1,000 branches.
Listen.
And one branch will produce 1,000 clusters, and one cluster will produce 1,000 grapes, and one grape will produce a core of wine.
And those who are hungry
will enjoy themselves, and they will moreover see marvels every day.
For winds
will go out in front of me every morning to bring the fragrance of aromatic fruits, and clouds at the end of the day to distill the dew of health.
And it will happen at the time that
the treasury of manna will come down again from the Most High, from on high, and they will eat of it in those years, because these are they who will have arrived at the consummation of time.
They have arrived. People, it's that simple. You will be forced to go there. Questions? Plain and simple. Summary. Listen.
We started this session by looking at the notion of Christians not going to suffer because of being the bride of the Messiah.
That's what they've been telling you, that they will not suffer because they are the bride of the Messiah, yet they are suffering. Listen.
We then looked at why one must prepare for the wilderness.
You must prepare yourself. No matter where you live, be prepared. Listen.
We then looked at the very topic for today, the wilderness of the people and what it means in our
We've
era.
shown you the wilderness of the people. Wherever you've been scattered to, it's a wilderness on itself. But towards the end, when the bombs are dropped, all of us will be gathered within a certain area. Listen.
We briefly examined who the refined remnants of Yah are.
Listen.
We then discovered that there are many troubles and tribulations awaiting the chosen of Yah.
He said that the tribulations are upon all souls, upon all nations. Everyone will experience it. Listen.
We then concluded by looking at the very protection that Yah has prepared for the people who will be found within the borders of the wilderness.
Plain and simple. In conclusion, listen, Ezekiel 36 verse 22.
Therefore say unto the house of Israel,
Thus said the Almighty,
I do not this.
People, he's not going to do this because you are holy. We will never be holy. Our people will never change. He only needs some percentage of us. I am not going to do this for your sake, O house of Israel, but for my holy name's
sake,
listen,
which ye have profaned among the
he
heathen.
said that even in the land of the north, you profane my name. You claim, I'm a Christian, and this, but you see, your boss, the Gentile, looks at it's like, hey, there's the church boy. But you drink with them, you smoke with them, you eat the women, you eat the men with them. So in their mind, they're like, what a hypocrite. You profane the name of the Almighty. There, listen.
And I will sanctify my great name,
which was
profaned among the heathen, which ye have profaned in the midst of them.
And then the heathen shall know
that I am Yah, says Yah Elohim,
when I shall be
sanctified in you before their eyes.
I will take
you from among the heathen
and gather you
out of all countries,
and I will bring you
into your own land.
I showed you verse upon verse that he taking you is not an unidentified flying object. It's not a UFO. It's not a rapture. He's going to cause certain things to happen on this earth that you yourself, you will flee. Listen.
Then will I sprinkle clean water upon
And then
you.
when he has purged, once we are gathered, he will begin to purge us, remove the rebels, the bad and the ugly. He will sprinkle clean water upon us, and we will be clean.
From all your filthiness, and from your idols,
and
will I cleanse you.
And a new heart also
will I give you, and a new spirit will I put within you.
And I will take away
the stony heart out of your flesh,
and I will give you
an heart of flesh.
And then
I will put my spirit within you,
listen,
and cause you to walk in my statutes,
and ye
shall keep my judgment
and do
them,
and ye shall dwell
in the land that I gave to your fathers,
and ye shall be
my people, and I will be your Elohim.
I will also save you from all
your uncleanness,
and I will call for the corn.
I will increase it
and lay no famine
upon you,
and I'll multiply the fruit
of the tree
and the increase
of the field,
that ye shall receive no more
reproach of famine among
then
the heathen.
Shall ye remember your own evil ways
and your doings that were not good,
and you shall hate yourselves
in your own sight for your iniquities and for your abominations.
And once again, not for your sakes, O Israel, do I do this,
says Yah Elohim.
Listen,
be it known unto you,
be ashamed
and confounded for your ways, O house of Israel.
Change, repent. Don't boast. Don't be like you know it all. You are so spiritual. I'm saving 1 million souls. For you, are you saved? Thus said the Almighty Yah Elohim, in that day,
that in the day that I shall have cleansed you from all your iniquities,
I will also cause you to dwell
in the cities,
and the waste
shall be built.
It's that simple. It's not a complex thing. When you allow the scriptures to talk, you will see both new and old will be speaking about the same thing. That's why the scripture said that it's not something which is hidden under the sea, that we will go and ask the American Navy that can you please go with the submarine and bring it up. He said it is found among you. I will place among you brothers, sisters, with the wisdom and the understanding of Yah, who will instruct you for you to know what to do. So you see, when we come, no matter the scripture, we make it real. Because it's real. Everything has a meaning. You can connect the dots when you allow the scriptures to talk and not to insert your own private interpretations to them. Me saving you has a meaning. Many people, once the Israelites were saved from the hands of the Egyptians, but Yah didn't push them. He did not bring cars and remove them. He gave them a direction.
Chariots.
They were not in chariots. Moses was just walking barefoot in front of them and they were following him. That's Yah deliverance. So when you read something, see, and he will take us, that don't always, we make everything spiritual like you are snatched away. No. It's real. But it's with direction. So these were the sayings from the poor preacher. I hope you've learned something. There are no questions, I guess. I hope you've learned something. I hope it has made you aware of certain things, that you will no longer depend and wait on any unidentified flying object known as UFOs. Neither will you wait for Angel Gabriel to come and rapture you, but you'll be prepared here spiritually, physically as well, financially as well. Hold on, do not give up. Do what you must do to survive. May Yah add his blessings to the reading and the hearing of his words. Until we meet again next week. Salam.